It's my pleasure to introduce and ask him to come up, Brendan Mullen. As Joe said, he's running against the same teabagger, right-wing extremist that Joe was running against. But in Brendan's case, he's committed to our issues. He's committed to making sure that he protects Medicare, protects Social Security. He knows about the Ryan budget, what he'd do about that. But apart from that, Joe didn't say is that Brendan is also a U.S. Army Iraq war vet. And in Brendan, stand up for us against rotten deals from China. Brendan's been endorsed by the Alliance for Retired Americans. He's also been endorsed by the National Farmers Union. But here's something that ought to touch all our hearts. Brendan has a small business, and in that small business he does everything he can to hire returning vets. Please welcome the next Congressman.
How many days do we have, ladies and gentlemen? 6! This is not a wake, and I know I'm one of the last speakers, but how many days do we have?
6!
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 6 days. We have 6 days to elect a good man to the U.S. Senate, my good friend Joe Donnelly. Let's give him a round of applause.
Let me just say real quick that Brendan is running for the seat that I am currently in. And I can't think of a better person, of a better man, of a better husband, of a better dad to be the next congressman from this same district than this guy right here.
Now, I got some pretty big shoes to fill, don't I? Yeah. Our good friend Vi and our good friend John Gregg, I think, are on their way to their 73rd city tonight, and I think they left. But I'll tell you what, folks, I've had the pleasure of sharing a stage with them for 18 months. They were working their tails off, and they are going to work their tails off for you. Listen, one of the things I want to talk about, I'm a veteran. We got veterans in here. Please raise your hands. Thank you. How about sons and daughters of veterans? Excellent. I simply decided to run for Congress in my friend's funeral at Arlington National Cemetery. And seeing that flag-draped casket, hearing the 21-gun salute, and watching that flag being folded up and handed to my buddy's spouse broke me down. But you know what got me worse, guys? Hugging my buddy's 4 children after it was over. And looking across the Potomac River and seeing gorgeous Lincoln Memorial, right? And that Washington Monument standing tall and proud. And then that Capitol Dome, the capital of our free world. And underneath that dome we had Tea Party radicals that were holding our Constitution and holding our communities and holding our families by hostage. And I say, God damn it, I'm not going to allow them to do that to my community. And after returning home, after spending 3,000 miles of combat patrols, raids, and missions in Iraq, guess whose vehicle I did it in? You. My friend Bruce Schweitzer, I see him in the corner from up there. UAW, my local up in South Bend out of AM General, created the vehicle that kept me and my brother safe and sound. And I tell you what, you were in the foxhole with me, I'm going to be in the foxhole with you guys. My good friend Michael Bryan standing right here in front of me. I was out 2 nights ago in the cold weather in Goshen, Indiana, picketing. A company sending 450 of our friends, 450 of our neighbor jobs to Mexico. Outsourcing jobs, sending millionaires and these large corporations these tax benefits and these subsidies. That's unacceptable. I didn't fight for the flag. My friends in his sacrifice for the flag for these professional politicians to send our jobs overseas. Ladies and gentlemen, with 6 days left, I got Karl Rove smearing me up and down the living room TV screens with my friends and neighbors. I have other outside interest groups smearing me up and down the living room TV screens. Super PAC money doesn't mean jack. You know who you guys are? You guys are my Super PAC. Right on. And just like John Gregg mentioned, just like my friend Joe mentioned, just like Vi mentioned, we need you to stand up, and we're going to be there in the foxhole with you once we win this seat, but we got 6 days, ladies and gentlemen. So I need you to walk the doors, I need you to knock the doors, make the calls, and get your friends, colleagues, neighbors, and the folks that you worship with understanding who we are and who we're protecting. And that's the working families, ladies and gentlemen. The folks that have been left out in the cold while Mitch Daniels has shoved you guys down the wrong tube, right? Mitt Romney in his plastic-wearing nice suits, unacceptable, right? And Jackie Walorski going to the halls of Congress with her Tea Party flag, trying to do a right-to-work law at the federal level, unacceptable. So with 6 days left, I ask you to join me, I ask you to join Joe, I ask you to join John and Vi and I, so that we can move our communities, so we can move our families forward. Because simply put, folks, Hoosiers deserve better than professional politicians. My men that never came home deserve better than professional politicians. In 6 days, we are going to be triumphant. We are going to be successful with your help. Thank you. God bless the state of Indiana. God bless America.